Yo, what's happening, guys? Another loadout for you guys. This one's going to be a quantum loadout for us. Let's jump into it, shall we? So, in terms of my weapon, I got blast adapter. In terms of my head, we got new venom boost. I feel like you're very limited in terms of like what supercharge you want to take. I mean, you could take the 10k Oblivion. It does a ton of damage, but the problem is with it is I just feel like you get more purpose damage from just running a Neo Venom, you know? So that's why we run it. Escalate might. Obviously, Berserker in my back, Penetrating Strikes in my chest. I've got Restorative Gravity Bomb for my legs. We got Tumbling Master in the boots, and then we have max damage in our hands. We got a might, pure might in our face socket here. I am running Ebon in the two cards. This is my go-to preference. Let's jump into loadouts. In terms of loadouts, I got Gravity Well, Time Shift, Warp Barrage, Gravity Bomb, Distortion Wave, and Neo Venom Boost. In terms of the way that I spec, we go super powered. We take the critical attack chance, critical attack damage. I then take the critical power magnitude as I have the extra skill points. If you don't, just continue down to might and power. Once I got the might and power done, obviously I did the 10 here, and then the rest will go into precision for the weapon attack clips. Head over here. Let's do a quick little rotation for you all. Let me do this. Let's get rid of the chat blur. Alright, let's jump in. So left to right. That is the rotation. It is a little bit power hungry. That's due to the Eben. And the fact that I'm using Zod as well. I'll explain. As you can see, we did a 3.4 mil. Right here, 3.4 mil. So, not too bad. Like I say, it is a little power hungry. Realistically, if you didn't want it to be as power hungry, you could get rid of Zod and you could run Batman Who Laughs would be another great option. If I can find him, because obviously they still not fixed this. Yeah, I mean, Luck of the Draw would be another good option. What you could run. Let's do a quick little rotation with Batman Who Laughs, see what we pull. So we pulled a 3.4 the way that I had it. I've not really tested it too much with different allies, but let's see what we hit with this guy. So we're hitting 3.4 as well. So there's really not much in it. So if you really wanted to help with your power a little bit more, I would say recommend running that. As you can see, we did a 3.4 19294 versus obviously that little bit extra. Being with Zod, you get that little bit more with Zod, but there's really not a lot in difference in terms of damage. But yeah, in terms of the allies, obviously what I was running was Superman, Cyborg, and then I had Zod, and I had Warriors Resolve here. But you could run Luck of the Draw, would be another solid option for you to run. and you won't get that decrease of power regeneration either. It will just get one of these random buffs. So technically, you won't always get this 2% might, where you'll always get this stack of might with Zod. Hence why that little bit extra damage is just that little bit higher, because you're always going to have that might percentage, you know. But yeah, that wouldn't be a solid, that would be a pretty solid option too. Let's jump into the single target. So with a single target, the mods don't change, they all stay the same. In terms of my artifact, I do the 2 cards and then I do a solar amplifier. Reason why we do solar amp is because we're using I-beam. So I rock that. In terms of my allies, we are doing Crypto, Cyborg, General Zod. In terms of the way that I spec, we spec attack exactly the same, so it's super powered, critical attack chance, critical attack damage, might and power, and then 10 into there. We do have our super speed, and we just go down and get these. I don't even need this. I had this because it was gadgets, and I just imprinted just straight away pretty much. Hence why that's there. I could actually remove that because I don't need it. But yeah, I would just go down and make sure that you get these 2 resistances here. In terms of the weapon, we only need the 1 point as we're might. So that is that. In terms of our skill point on our loadout, where it's all spec'd. So on our loadout, we got Gravity Well, we got Anomaly. So Anomaly is our supercharge generator, so it's going to help us get our supercharges back a little bit quicker. This doesn't actually do a lot of damage. It's not very good in damage, in my opinion. But on this loadout, we can get away with using it. On the AoE loadout, it's pointless running it because you just want to pull as much damage as you possibly can. Hence why we're running what we're running, and we pulled a 3.4 mil, which is more than enough without supercharges. So yeah, let's continue here. So obviously we take Graviton Field. This is actually really good. This is a single target DOT damage. So this is going to be DOT as well as this being DOT. So we've actually got 2 DOTs. And then we got Heat Vision, which is the 3rd damage over time. And then we have Energy Explosion. And then we take Neo Venom Boost as our supercharge again. But let's get into a rotation here. So it's left to right. And then it changes ever so slightly. And then it's number 3, 2, 4. And then 5. And then it's rinse and repeat. As you can see, the skills are coming off of cooldown perfectly. And it just works, man. Like I say, it's not the best single target damage, but it's more than enough for what I need to do. I don't care about being on top of the board. But as you can see, we did pull a 1.5 mil here. There is a 1.5 mil just here, right here. So that's really not too bad. I don't think that's that bad. I think it's like above average. You know, so yeah, that's pretty much my quantum loadout. I mean, you could make some changes realistically. If you didn't want to run this, you could just swap these out, and then you could run, say, lift. Wherever he is, where is it? There it is. This could be another loadout. Let's see what we hit with this. So we're not hitting nowhere near as much. The most we've hit so far is a 1.4 mil. So as I say, the one I'm running is probably the best in slot in terms of single target damage. It could probably be more if, say I drop this and we just run these 4. Right, we run these 4 and then we put on, like, say, Robot Psychic. Obviously we'll pull conditionally probably a little bit more damage, but then you're sacrificing supercharge generating, right? And I think having the supercharge generator just really helps push out more supercharges, which in turn pulls more damage. But as you can see, we're already pulling a 1.6 in terms of damage. So you could go this way as well if you really, really wanted to. There's a 1.7 mil. I mean, that's 200. That's 2 mil more. We're pulling 2 mil more just by swapping them two things around. 3 mil more. We're actually up 5 mil now because we're above 2 mil. Just pulled at 2 mil. So yeah. I mean, realistically, you could go that route. The reason why I don't go this route, and I'll explain the reason why. The reason why is most of the content what we're getting, the last like 3 DLCs with the content what we've had is robot sidekicks just aren't that good. And the reason why I say that they're not good is because they're consistently dying in boss fights and stuff like that. And it's just really irritating just to get it out consistently, because by the time you've got it out, you've lost out on damage. Do you see where I'm coming from? Like, yes, you make up more damage having it, but if your robot psychic dies, it takes you like 3 to 5 seconds to get it out, you know? Like, here, look. If I get rid of it, and we wait for it, we'll count in seconds how long it takes. 1, 2, 3. So it takes 3, but if you're in combat, it takes longer. I'm pretty sure it takes about 5 seconds when you're in combat to get this robot psychic out, and half the time I've noticed that it doesn't even come out; it just blows up, right? It doesn't even like form up; it just explodes on itself, right? So take that into consideration that can occur, but realistically, this would be your best single target loadout. You know, in terms of pulling the damage, as you can see, you know, we pulled a 2 mil quite easily. Let me try and find it here. There it is, 2 mil. So yeah, I mean, it's really not that bad. I think we covered everything here in terms of the skill points. They all stay the same. Allies is that. Like I say, if you didn't want to run Zod, you could run Luck of the Draw too. Luck of the Draw would be very, very, very good option as well. So take that into consideration. Let's hop into the controller. I got you guys covered. I'm going to do what I did last time for the gadgets loadout. I'm going to get rid of Bird's Blitz, and I'm going to get rid of Blood Moon of Hecate, the Blood Moon brand. And then I'm going to replace for the abilities what I would use for the debuffs if you do not have these. Okay, so give me a couple of seconds here just while I'm doing this. You could run the other one as well, wherever it is. It's like the Opera Wave, this thing, or Warp Barrage. Personally, Warp Barrage does more damage, so I would say Warp Barrage. So if you do not have a BOP comlink and you do not have a brand of Hecate and you're running, say, Grimball Chains, you're running the Claw of the Aucklands, whatever you're trying to be, if you're running the old Parasite build, whatever it is, right? You would have to run all 3 debuffs. So, as you can see here, We've got a heal and debuff. We've got a defense down. And we got a damage output. So we have all three debuffs again, okay? So this is what I would run if I wasn't running what I'm running. If I didn't have BOP Comlink and I didn't have the brand Heke, I would be running this. So Anomaly is a healer debuff, but it's also a supercharged generator. So that's 2 for 1. So that helps. Okay. Singularity is our defense down. If you didn't want Singularity, you could use Time Shift. Singularity does more damage. So if you want to help out and do a little bit more damage as a controller, I would say run Singularity. Same as Warp Barrage versus Obrir Wave. Alcabria Wave. That's what I don't even know how to pronounce this word. It's such a weird word. But yeah, this move is your damage output. But so is Warp Barrage. Warp Barrage will do more damage than the wave. So, like I say, if you want to do more damage, which I always want to do more damage just to help out with the group, I would run that. See, now, because I have BOP Comlink, and I've explained this multiple times on my other builds, this alone does so much damage, it is disgusting. Okay? It does so much damage, it is disgusting. That being said, it also restores insane amounts of power. I don't know anyone what trolls in this current time in this game what doesn't want to run these 3 artifacts. I know people what used to buff troll consistently, and they're not buff trolling anymore. They're doing this kind of troll. And the reason why is because it's better. It's not the best. It's not there's no such thing as the best. But this, you're still a power troll, you're still a debuff troll, you're still a damage dealing battle troll. You're getting literally 3 trolls in one setup. Why wouldn't you want to run that? Do you see where I'm coming from? So this is why most people are running this 3-piece setup, because it's just better to do this. And I'll explain. I actually messed up my my spec here, so I'm gonna respec because I did mess it up a little bit, and I'll explain where I messed up. In fact, I'll show you where I messed up. Let me show you before we respec. So if you guys can see where I've messed up here in this tree, feel free to comment. But you know, most people would be like, no, it looks quite normal. See, now that's where you're wrong. Because we're running Heke, I'm going to take all of this dominance out and I'm going to put it into my might and power. And the reason why is if you look at this, and I've done this for all my other builds, by the way, and I've just realized it. I'm nullifying myself by doing this. But when I spec into might, rather than having that extra points into the dominance, when I put them back into the might, I'm going to be sorted. Because look, if you read Heke, it says damage over time. When you do the thing, it damages enemies, right, over time. But it goes off a percentage of your vitalization and your might. So because it's scaling from your vitalization plus scaling from your might, you want to go back into might. So we're going to go and quickly respec you. And I'm going to have to imprint these back on my my thing, but that's not an issue. So obviously I'm going to start with my super speed. I'm going to come down, grab these 2. I'm going to go into my iconic powers. I'm going to just grab this. I don't need anything else in here. Realistically, I just take hard light shield though. just for when I switch to different troll powers and the shield's not that good. I have that backup there. We also take Lasso. Reason why I take Lasso is I play with some really good players from That's Not Serious. That's the league what I'm in. I'm in the same league as people like Hesse and other people like that, right? So I'm in a very, very top tier league in the game. And when we run this current episode, what we're in, this Justice League Dark, in the Elite Raid, it's my job as a troll to run like Lasso, and I just grab all the ads, and it saves us having 2 tanks. Rather than having 2 tanks, me as a controller, I take all the ads away from the tank, and then the tank just has a field day, and then we have that extra DPS where we would have to have a tank. We don't have to have a tank now. We have that extra DPS to do that extra damage, which is even nicer. So we can burn that boss and get it done without any issues and problems. As we all know, if the ghosts get to that boss becomes enraged, and he will start going around one-shotting people. So yeah, this is why I get Lasso. And then we go super speed, obviously. Obviously, I want these 2. Obviously, we want the vitalization. And then from here, we go might and power. But before I do that, I need to do my weapon mastery, obviously. So let's do my weapon mastery. So I'm a brawler into the martial art. It doesn't really matter what way you want to do it as a troll. It's entirely up to you. I know people what just do dual pistol and just hold triangle. If that's what you like doing, you do that. But I think personally, one-handed into the martial art does a lot of damage, and I think it's probably one of the best masteries out there in the game in terms of damage and in terms of restoring the power. I use it on a healer. I use it on the troll. I use it as a precision DPS if I was precision. I think it's just overall probably best in slot in terms of the mastery. But yeah, we'll grab that, and then the rest can go into my might and power. So as you can see, we got 44 points into this. So right now, I'm getting 6% power, 6% might, 6% weapon rating, 545 power, 145 might, right? That's what it adds up to, and 291 weaponization. So these from 6% power and 6% might and the 6% here, what we're getting. This is what we're getting underneath. Our next power, this is what we will get when we put another few points in. So yeah, I mean, that's extra stats, right? In terms of our loadout, obviously I take BOP. This is a 1-button debuff. This does all 3 debuffs, and it's super nice. It does a portion of damage as well to the target, and it scales from my vitalization or my might. So it's scaling off of both once again. And then we take Blood Moon Brand. That scales off of both vitalization and might. So hence why we've just respec. I do take Anomaly. The reason why I take Anomaly is this is still a supercharged generator for me. So I'm debuffing. I'm doing damage, a ton of damage. And then I'm also restoring a ton of power. We're still building supercharges. I have quantum tunneling because, I mean, you're quantum. Why not? Right? It's better than temporal shield, you know, which is the time bubble. I mean, if you want to run time bubble, hey, by all means, you can run it, right? I mean, it's a good shield. If that's what you want to do, you can do that. I prefer quantum tunneling. Say someone dies and they're over near Steampunk Batman there. You know, I can just be like, boom, get to them, res them, and then go about my business. You know what I'm saying? So I think having this is very nice, and it's a clutch, and it does save a lot of people. Temporal extortion. This is our actual power dump. So we're restoring more power. And then I take Event Horizon, which is my supercharge. In terms of my allies stay the same as all the other controllers. So I'm running Satana. What she's going to do is she's going to reduce the damage, what the boss is doing to us, for 12 seconds. She's still at the same level, so she's only doing 9% for me. She's really, really strong. She's super strong. Really nice to have. And then we take Death Metal Batman. Reason why I take Death Metal Batman is this allows me to get the Black Lantern as a passive. Whenever I debuff, it drops a big pool of like music. Let me see if I can get it to prop this thing here. If anyone's standing in this, they're gonna get a lot of stuff, right? So if they're standing in it, they're gonna gain a ton of power. So right now, because the mine's only at level 7, not level 10, mine's only level 7. They're restoring 10% power. Okay, this goes up by 5% per level. So we got 3 more levels to get out of this. So it'd be 15, 20, 25. It'll go up to 25% power. The health also goes up. Like here, look, I can dictate where it goes up. Look, so it's going up by 2% per level. So if you look at this, right, because we now know that it's going up 5% power, and then it's going up 2% health per level. So we've got 3 more levels out of this. So that's going to go up to 14% maximum health, okay, on a cooldown. And you can see the cooldown is also coming down by 10 seconds. We've got currently at 60 seconds. So take away 30 seconds, right? That would be 30-second cooldown. And then, as you can see, 5% power. So we know that we got 3 more levels to go. That's going to go to 25% power. That is absolutely huge. And such a good ally. I highly recommend this ally for a controller. So yeah, we're running him. And then obviously we take the Phantom Zone Touch from Zod. If I level up here, we can kind of see where this one goes to as well. As you can see, we'll then go up to... we'll increase our might here, look. And our precision. So it will be going up more. But I don't know what this goes up to completely, because it's kind of weird. Like, this has gone up by 0.25%, right? So I mean, we're gonna go up to like 3% might possibly, and then you would go up to like 2% prec, just over maybe. It's really hard to dictate because it's such an odd, uneven number compared to the other one. But yeah, I mean, highly recommend using that, because that is like Claw the Auckland. We're literally buffing people's might and prec, which is super nice. We don't need the claw. We just run him. Okay. Super handy. So that, as you can see, that is our thing. I'm just gonna do my debuff, and I'm gonna do Blood Brand Hecate, and I'm gonna show you the number what we just hit on that target, dude. I'm gonna let that run its course. Look what we just hit as a controller, dude. You guys can't see because I am in the way, and I do apologize. Let me go. There you can see. We just hit 36,000 just from that 2 combined combination. That's a lot of damage for a controller. You gotta think about it. That's on 1 target. Okay? That was on 1 target. Now if we take this over here and do it on them, and then I'll show you what it hits on them. 400 $25,000. That's 500,000 just under. And like, you gotta think. You think about it. Just for a little bit. Let it sink in. None of my arts are at 200. If I got this to 200, the damage gets increased. Right? As you can see here, double the amount of power granted by siphoning weakness. So we get more power back, right, when that's at 200. Put that back in. This deals damage to additional enemies, right? And it scales from your vitalization or your might, which we're speccing into both. Okay. And when that's at 200, we get Blessing Morale 4. So it becomes 50% stronger. Right? So we're gaining 20% more damage when this is at 200. Okay? From where I've got it currently. And then this one, when this is at 200, we get the Blood Moon Brand 4. Okay? So Blood Moon Brand 4. So currently I'm doing 2.6% of my might's damage, and I'm doing 17% of my vitalization. When I get this to 200, I'm going to do 34% of my vitalization and then 5.2% of my might. That is huge. We're already pulling 500,000. When this is at 200 and I have these at 200, I'm probably going to be hitting about 1.5 mil in terms of damage. Just from them two combinations. That's insane. For a controller to pull that amount of damage is filth. It's filth. Right? This is why we run it. Because we're a battle troll, we're a buff troll, we're a power troll. We're all of them combined into one. So I highly recommend getting these 3 artifacts and just ranking up them 3 artifacts. It's just the best way to go. And I think that's it. I think we've covered everything. So obviously you want to come down here, you know, get your weapon mastery. In terms of your skill points, get these 2 things again. Grab these, and I'll jump into why we take the lasso in a minute. And then might and power. It's disgusting. I wouldn't recommend running anything else. Everything else is kind of outdated. Like your buff troll, your power sight, power harness, power dump troll. It's all outdated. Since Heck 8 came around, everyone's running Heck 8. And they're running the BOP, Heck 8, and the Amulet of Rao. You're always going to want a Rao because that allows you to debuff one enemy and then it debuffs up to 7 around them, right? So you're always going to run that. I'm not saying get rid of your Grimbor. I'm not saying get rid of any of your artifacts. Keep them for a rainy day because they may get buffed, they may get changed, they may become relevant again. Do you see where I'm coming from? But right now, this is, in my personal opinion, probably best in slot. And I'm not an elitist player. I play a lot of elite content, but I remember where I come from. I remember that I started from level fucking 1 on the Brainiac ship, you know, all them years ago. So I never forget where I come from, and I don't like the elitist mindset of all these people want to like, oh, I'm art swapping like 6 artifacts or whatever. Good for you, dude. If you want to stare at your inventory rather than play the game and actually enjoy the game, hey, by all means, you do you. But realistically, I don't care for it. But yeah, that's that. Now, back to what I was saying with the lasso setup. When I'm in Justice League Dark, Corrupted Themyscira or whatever the hell it's called. What is it called? Let me see. Cursed Themyscira. So when we're in this one in Elite, and I'm running this with my league, and they want me to lasso, I will drop my Hecate. Reason why I drop Hecate is because debuffs are way more important than doing damage at this point. Okay, long as the boss is debuffed, it's way more important than doing any type of damage. So what I do is I drop my brand of Hecate for the lasso when we're doing that. And then that just allows me to say, oh, hey, they've come out of that door, you know, and they've come out of this door, and I can grab all of these, right? And then they'll all be on me in the middle, okay? I've grabbed them all. This is why we run a lasso. And then that still allows me to turn around and then debuff the boss. You know, and still power dump, because I can still power dump. Right? And that's the loadout. That's literally all I use that for. The only other time when I may use this is if I'm playing with my friend Top. I may use this if we don't have a tank. I may use it just on the trash mobs while we're getting towards bosses and stuff. Just saves him being interrupted all the time, you know. It's not nice being interrupted as a DPS, and I get it. Unfortunately, there's too many people that play this game what queue up as a tank role, and they don't want to tank. My advice is to them people, don't queue up as a tank role. If you don't want to tank, just go into your on duty. In the top left here, you can see here, it says controller and damage. Say the controller's the tank. Just untick that and then queue up. Don't queue up as a tank if you're not willing to do it. That's just my honest opinion. I think the people what do that are just scum. And, you know, you guys need to realize that you're just being assholes when you do that, because the reality of life is if you don't want to do it, you don't do it, right? Like, for example, if I don't want to go and do something in IRL, I'm not going to go and do that. Do you see where I'm coming from? It's the same principle in terms of playing a role in a game. Like, if you don't want to play that role, don't queue up as it. Because the funny thing is, they queue up as it, and then people are saying, hey, are you going to tank? And then they get so butthurt because people are pestering them to do a role what they don't want to do, but yet they've queued up as that role. What do you expect? Like, people are going to pester you to do the role because you queued up as the role. So they expect you to do it. Do you see where I'm coming from? So my advice is just don't do that. And if you don't want to be that role, just unplug it. But yeah, that's pretty much the loadouts, guys. I'm just gonna swap this back around so I have them imprinted here in my base. Where is it? There it is. But yeah, that is the Quantum in Depth loadout. I hope you guys really enjoy it. Go and try it out for yourself. Let me know what you think of it. It works for me. I think it's not bad. It's got potential. I just think I don't want to say it because I'm one of these people where, like, powers do come into it to a degree, but not like dramatically come into it. But you know, we all know that munitions is probably the strongest controller power out there in terms of doing damage from a might perspective. I would say that that's probably the strongest, but there's really not a lot within them, you know. Like, my advice is just play the things that you enjoy playing. Find what you like and then just play it. Don't be disheartened because someone beats you in damage. Don't be disheartened because, you know, your friend's doing more damage than you and whatever else, right? My advice is just find what you like and enjoy it, you know? And you'll have way more enjoyment in the game when it comes to that. My big pet peeve is with this game is I've been every power probably about I want to say over 3,000 times. You know, every single power at least that number for each power. Um, I get very bored in this game, and that's part of the reason why I'm always switching power is because I'm bored and I like switching stuff up and I like seeing what's what, you know, and I like to see if changes are ever made and whatever else, right? And that's just how I play the game, you know. I wouldn't expect anyone else to be like that, but yeah, I mean, for me, I just like experiencing different powers. You know, I get bored of a power. That's fine. I switch and then I make a new build and, you know, we go for it, you know, and it's fun. That's fun to me. So, yeah, just have fun and feel free to like, subscribe. I do stream on Twitch at least 3 times a week. So go and check me out over there too. Um, yeah, like I say, enjoy this loadout. Try it out for yourself. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Yeah, have a good one. Take care. All the best. Peace.